All right, so I'm winging it here. 6 years ago, I started a project. This is an F1 competition series. It was a gas car, and I decided that I wanted to convert it to electric. So I started to work on it like over 6 years ago, almost 7 years ago. And maybe I put in a bunch of time, a few months, machined some parts, and put it away and never got back to it. Literally 6 years, huge investment, waste of money. So I dug it out just recently, and I cleaned off a millimeter of dust, and hopefully I will get back into it. I figured I would maybe document the effort a little bit, and maybe that'll motivate me. Real quick, don't bother subscribing. I don't do this often. If I do ever come back with a second video, it probably won't even be this. I have too many other things I'm interested in all the time. Nonetheless, I'm going to sit here. I'm going to try to figure out. I just really, like I said, I pulled all the pieces out of storage, which was literally a shelf in a back room. And I think I got everything I have created for the project here. And I literally piled it up, and then I just started recording. So I'm not even sure where I left off and what these parts are. I have an idea, of course, but I'll look through them real quick, and this will be the first video. We'll just be trying to figure out what I have here, and what my next step is. A lot of it's very, very customized. To start, like I said, it came as a gas car. There's the other piece over here. We'll look at that in a moment. And I ripped out and cut out the frame, or parts of the frame, and then started machining some. I have some equipment here I can show you real quick. Sorry about this area is really jammed. It's my little shop / office / anything else, a garage. Mill. What else? Lathe. Don't mind the motorcycle. There's my Harley up there too. Like I said, I do a lot of things. So mill and lathe, that's where all this stuff was made. All these pieces. Okay, so like I said, I just went in the back room and pulled this stuff out. And I'll try to remember what the intent was, and then I'll just start assembling it. And I remember that when I did leave off, I was at some stage that was like going to require a little bit different type of work. So I might have just well, I don't know. I don't know where I left off, to be honest. All right. So like I said, I took all these the main pieces off. This is already mounted in here. I machined this. It's to, I guess, support one of the batteries, if I recall correctly. This guy, I'm uncertain. Let's see. So I'm on this nice stand. Great help here. Is that on the front or the back? Does that go like that? That looks... no, maybe not like that. Man, I am gonna have to dig up. Can't even figure out how I left this thing off. So, I must have taken a picture somewhere. I'm thinking like this. This looks good. Alright. So that would sit maybe like that? Because I see I have a hole up here. I don't know, you can't see these things as clear. I'll tilt some stuff if it's looking interesting. This looks like it might go up here. Alright, hang on. I'm going to go actually get a picture so I can see. I know I took a picture of this, so let me go look on my computer. I'm going to pause it, and I'm going to come back. Really thought it would be a little easier than this. Maybe I won't restart this project. Where's my pause button here? Fuck the pause. I'll figure that out after. Mouse. Well, so I do have pictures. They're not great. I don't know how to share them. Maybe I'll figure it out if how to upload them. All right, so this is really extensive. I didn't realize how much work I put into this thing. So what I'm going to try to do is I'll put the pieces into, it looks like this stuff has to be where it belongs. So I need to start there. The stuff being motor, ESC, that kind of stuff. So I got this crazy motor here. Leonard, whatever, LMT. 3100 high amp. Figured I'd get the biggest one I could put in, so I did. Now somewhere I had to machine myself a motor mount, which is done. And I'm not 100% sure how I placed it in here. Obviously this is going to go in something like this because obviously the gears, spin this around. Obviously the gears, I don't know if you can see, obviously the gears have to touch. So that's there. Alright. Countersunk some of these pieces, so that should help me figure out what's how it goes in. Obviously the countersinks, I don't know if you could see that. Anyway, it's countersinks. Looking at the screw pattern, I'm going to have to say this is how that thing is going to get mounted. So let's put that in right now. Got to be a faster way than that. Alright, get these things out of here. I don't think I'm going to go through the, I mean this is hours of work, so obviously I'm going to run out of disk space to save this thing, and even if I was intending to skinny it down and edit it. These aren't screwed in very tight at all. So once I get the motor in, the other next thing we'll put in place is the ESC battery here. There's a battery that will sit in the front section here. I know you're wondering how the fuck is this going to come together, and it does. Like I said, I will probably spare you. I would have to go like this. There's no other way that can go. Can't go this way. I'll plug up those holes. Okay, that's intuitive. Yeah, there's no other way I could actually. Old guy, I don't know what I was saying. Yeah, no way I would actually record this whole thing from start to finish. What I'll do is this is like an intro. We'll see if I can get a little headway and maybe get to a point where I can just put in position what things are gonna look like. And then I will cut off and try to get this assembled properly. And I have an electric screwdriver over there, which I really should make use of. But I have so many different kinds of screws. So you can see down there I have two boxes on the bench under here. Oh, there's ESC, they're batteries. These boxes are just full of screws. It takes like everything from M3 to M6. And it's just a question of how much strength I wanted to put at any given, any given piece as I was kind of building this together. I think the motor puts out like 30 horsepower, so I figured it's going to have to be strong. I also had contemplated beefing up a lot of things, which I did do, and I'll show you where they are once I figure it out. Had to make some custom mounts. This guy back here is a custom mount. This is just the brake ESC. Of course, I upgraded that guy. It's an MKS HBL 599 just for the brakes, rear brakes. It's got disc brakes and front disc brakes. So that'll operate the brakes. Great. On the floor. Alrighty. Get that off the floor. Yeah, this is going to be good. Once I get this in, I'll probably back these all out with my little electric driver offline and put some thread locker in there. But I'm super unsure of how this stuff connects together. So for that reason, I won't do that now. All right. Great. This base, the base came with the kit, competition kit. It didn't come with all these cutouts. They're not all of them. Some of them, a lot of them, but most of them, I guess about half of them. I added a whole bunch more. You know, had to add little features just to get around how tight this has to be to put in. It's going to be 14S. Okay, so that guy's going to sit around there. The ESC, I can't really remember which way this thing goes, but obviously if the motor's there, the terminals for the motor are back here, all these lines have to go out here, so this is going to go in here. What did I do with this? So this is kind of cool. So I went out and I figured, you know, oh, the heat, magnetic interference, stuff like that, grounding, shorting out this ESC. This is an MGM. They don't make this one anymore. I looked online just recently to see if I could get instructions for it because I couldn't find them. And it's old stock, so I don't know what they replaced it with. This is the X2 series, and I don't think they had that anymore. All right, so these side plates, of course, I had to make a mount for this thing because that didn't come with it. So these side plates are made out of the same material. I can't remember what it's called. It starts with a G or something like that. The Garbolite or Gargle. Anyway, Garolite. Anyway, really super hard stuff, and this stuff is a bitch to machine. I went through carbide bits as I was cutting this out, carbide end mills. Really unbelievably hard material. Also anti-static and anti-electrical and all these great things. So made these mounts, mounted that in there, and then somewhere I have these. Don't fall, whatever you are. Don't know what that thing is. All right, so I made this mount, and the object behind here is I screw these on. I think. Let's see, where did I have this thing running? Really figure that out. So they're countersunk at the bottom. They go ground up, motherfucker. So they're coming up through the bottom of this thing. And I'm just looking for where my most four perfect holes are. They're way out here. Okay, so here's where they're going to be. All right, so I got one coming up. You guys can't see this, I'm sorry. I'll do it from this side. So there's a hole here. I really don't know if you can see this. And it comes up through this. Well, I'm way off of this. Through this at the bottom. And then you can see this little hole here cut out so I can tighten it. All four of them go in like that. So, I'm not going to put them in just yet. It's all countersunk underneath this. Wish I should probably try to tilt that thing up or get closer or something like that. Gotta get closer. This weighs a ton. Watch me drop everything. My first video is a comedy video. There we go. A little bit closer. All right. So this will go in here. Great. What else do I have? Drop something here. And then let's see, we have capacitor pack. Apparently these heavy motors need extra stuff. I'll show you that. I have a place to mount that. The steering servo. So that's a real big guy. Of course, I had to make that mount for the steering servo. And that actually mounts into this front unit somehow. And I had to flip the steering, the whole steering. You know, it has that whole rack and pinion steering. This stuff at the back here, for example, is all very realistic. You guys probably know about that. And the front is similar with steering. This guy's going to go up in the front, and I got to get that mounted in there. All right, so what's it going to look like? These real cool little pieces were bitch to machine. So perfect. I don't know if you can see that there. They are for the what is that called? Not the stabilizer. The I don't know, that steering stuff. Steering stuff. The anti-sway and stabilize or something like that. I'll show you how it looks. Anti-sway bar machined, cut out of some kind of a gauge of a wire. I'll show you that too. Some support pieces, obviously. So we have the ESC in place. We have the motor in place. I'm going to take this out for the moment. It's not necessary yet. All right, so what's going on with my pieces here? This is how they work. I believe this one will go here. No. This one. Well, that should be easy. Yeah. That's how that goes. All right. Yeah. Okay, so this is going to be here. I'll just turn this around again. Here's how this sucker works. Wow. If I find that screw, I'll be pretty happy. All right. So, complicated little piece. There's 6 or 7 different parts to this. A frame rail. This rail here. A post. Machined just so to provide support. This nice plate so I can mount things like I don't know, the receiver and that cat pack. Antennas come up in here. Support for the braking system. This is protecting the cat pack. The cat pack goes inside here. Skeletonized little thing to save a little bit of weight. All aluminum. 6061 primarily. Another rail. Oh, sorry. And this rail. So these were machined also. Two of these guys. To replace all the railing, all the hardware that I literally just hacked out, dremeled out, machined it out, milled it out, took it apart. All right, so front of the front of the thing. Let's see, I had that here for a reason. So there's a hole there. This goes on here. There's some holes already built into this thing. I don't know if you can see it. It must be a frustrating video to watch. All right, and that's how that's going to go. Obviously, there's a mount up front here. It doesn't rest. It doesn't rest on the ESC. That would be pathetic. Okay, let me see if I can put them in. Wow, man, there's just so many screws. I gotta get these cool little washers. See these spacers? You know, they're all countersunk, so they look very nice. Don't know if this is focusing or not. So there's countersunk spacers for the other side rail. I'm going to take the top of this guy off to mount those side rails. I'll continue the mock up here. So, okay, we got that there. So, well, let's get the front part. Let's get the front in. That'd be interesting. Maybe that I can do. Sit there. Great. Not fun. Spin this guy around again. All right. The front looks like this. Now, because the motor, wow, I am, I don't think I'm going to do this video. I really don't. Oh my God. Yeah, that's going to be in here somehow. These are countersunk on the bottom. This is the standard place they set up. But what I did different was the steering. I had to flip it upside down and point it backwards, which was kind of I thought that was a really clever way to do this. So what you have here is that steering right there. This is the steering. Was, I think, initially mounted facing the front. So you can see you would take them off of these, I don't know, these steering rods, flip it upside down and put it back in. For this one, it's now flipped, so it's backwards. It points to the back. That's crazy. Points to the back. These fucking feet got it out of my hand. What I will do is I'll probably just assemble this thing the way it's supposed to be assembled. Slowly. And then I will come back online and hold this camera by hand. God. Pain in the ass. Okay, yeah, that looks right. Hold the camera by hand and walk you through all the little parts of it. Kind of goes on like this. Does it? Maybe. Maybe something like that. Yeah, way back here. Oh, take this fucking clamp off. I use that sometimes to just make sure I don't knock the whole thing on the floor. It's been done. Whoa. How do I get that out of there? That guy doesn't. Wow. Yeah. Okay, so that guy's going to be in here. Let's pretend. Maybe like somewhere here. That steering guy's going to be under there. This whole stuff is going to be way up in the air. In front of this thing is a battery. I'm just going to show you real quick and then I'm going to put it together. Like I said, there was been a lot of machining going on here and I had to make sure Oh, see that thing did go in the right spot. How the fuck did that get in there? This guy didn't. Okay, he goes in here. Yeah, they come through that. Ta-da. Steering links, yes, steering links. Good God. See, there's a seat right there, so I mean, this is a labor of love, but we'll get this right. It's going to be like this. All right, close. We'll have batteries. Battery here in that bracket. Nice. The other battery is huge, and it's going to be. Oh, actually, you know what? It's flipped the other way. It's a reverse flip. So I reverse the flipping. I don't want to fuck with that right now. Okay, the other battery will go right in here. Isn't that cool? All right. The leads off of the ESC are here. See how that's starting to come together? Once this guy's on and in place, like this, after all that soldering is done, he'll be there. Perfect. I see. Yes, yes, yes. And this fun guy on the other side. You see how they... I'm not going to be showing this video. This goes on the inside and it mounts right here like this. From that to that. There's a really nice little spacer I built. This cool little guy here. Goes in like this. Can't see. He's underneath there. There's a... just holds it. Yeah, fuck it. Alright, and then this thing's on the top. So far so good. What dropped? This stuff here is that steering piece. So these are machined to clear. Not gonna happen. Fuck it. All right. So as I said, I'm not really enjoying this video. So here's the steering stabilizers, the suspension links or whatever. They will slide. Can you see? No, probably not. Into here, there's a set pin I machined in there. There's so much tapping in this effort. Really a drag. And then they kind of go in this. And then their stabilizer arm looks like this. Neat, neat. Yep, those guys go down here. Come on. He's in there, he's here. This thing is... son of a fuck. Get on. You can't see what I'm doing here. See, don't worry, you're not going to be stuck watching this. Alright, that's in there, that's in there. This guy goes underneath here to lift the steering linkages off the deck of the model. This guy sticks out the front of here because it is... yeah, that's nice. Come on, get your stupid ass in there. I could sing or something. Kind of goes in here. Well, don't push like that. I don't know how to show this. I don't have this set up very well, but something like that. Much more nicer. Yeah, you can't see that front now. All right. This is why I don't do this kind of stuff. And cut. That's a wrap. Mouse.